Hi, welcome to the A Entrepreneur Show. You know, as we were waiting to start this conversation, a very silly, I call it silly, song was singing in my head. If I catch you, I'll tell you why. But then I will tell you about the personal branding point of view. Branding from a point of building a sustainable brand for yourself and for the business that you're growing. And so, to open the forum today, I'm joined by amazing co-hosts. Yes, two gentlemen, they are smiling and they are very actually light-skinned. A joke for another day. Barack, please say hi as Welbango takes over.
Thank you very much, Janet, for that introduction. My name is Barack, just like you've mentioned. I love today's topic because branding is full to my soul. I like it, and I can't wait to, guys, just share the insights with you and just talk about branding from now henceforth. So stay tuned, click down there, subscribe, and see you in a few. So, Wandera?
Hi, my name is Wandera. I think everybody's excited today about branding. People buy the brand before they buy the product. Yes. So I'm looking forward to this conversation, guys.
Absolutely. That's so amazing. You know, sometimes we forget that branding, and when it comes to personal branding, you're really a person. When you talk about personal branding, there's a person in it. Yeah. And that means each and every one of us, regardless of the fact that you are popular or very influential or you have become a thought leader, you have a brand that is called a person because you have a name, you have an identity, and actually you can sell yourself by saying what you do and what skills you have. Yeah. Now today we want to expound our conversation more to actually understand how can we build this personal brand, this business to be sustainable. And by sustainability, what do we mean, Wandera?
Being there in the long term. The word sustainable is how can I exist in all phases? How can I exist in all seasons?
Longevity.
Yeah, longevity, actually, that's the word. Yeah. Am I going to be there tomorrow, the day after tomorrow?
Yes.
Can I adapt in a different environment? So that's what comes to my mind when we talk about sustainability. Longevity and adapting. So when you look at branding and personal branding, it's key. If you want to be there for the long term, what are you going to do to be able to sustain your personal brand and the business brand as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that means you have to be flexible with the strategies, what you do, how you build that product, or the services you offer. And I think this also goes down to what we are as people.
Yeah.
We don't like being the same way we were 10 years ago. We want to add something amazing so that people can say, yes, there's value in that person.
Yeah.
There's something that I can learn, I can get, there is a reason to why I can relate with such and such a person.
Yeah.
When you talk about also sustainability, Barack, we look at the context of the nowadays trends that we see.
Yes.
And let me just put it, quote unquote, cloud chasing.
Yeah.
Do you think cloud chasing is sustainable? And you've seen a couple of people be popular overnight and then brands endorse them.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the right way brands should approach sustainability, or tell us?
Now, first of all, I know this is not going down. This will not go down well with a lot of people, but I don't think cloud chasing is sustainable. That's number one. Number two, brands like to work with what is trending at the moment. That means, you cut that cheese or whatever it is when the knife is still hot. Yeah. And, by the time 2-3 days down the line, when, everything and everybody is used to what you're doing or knows that, this is outrightly cloud, you'll see them, trying to find another thing. They forget so much. They forget faster, and I don't think, brands, as much as they work with, quote unquote cloud chasers, I think they're also, tagging on to the low hanging fruits. Yeah. And brands like that because it gives them, the awareness, the visibility and stuff. But then again, when you come to branding, talks about authenticity. How can you be authentic? All right. Because for you to be, sustainable, you have to be
authentic.
Yes. And it gets down to that person who understands what branding is. Because if I'm branding my business or myself as a personal brand, I want to be there 5 years down the line, and I want to be, evolving every now and again to fit what is, at that moment, what is hot at that moment. And that does not mean that, I should be cloud chasing, because when we get used to you, that, Janet and your Wandera is cloud. Wherever you go, we know that, whatever you do, even if it's straight from your heart, we'll outwardly say, this is cloud.
Okay, so what do you mean? At the end of the day, cloud chasing is not bad. It can be positive. Actually, positive, because you're getting the awareness and you're getting the visibility. But if you constantly do the cloud chasing, you're going to water down your authenticity.
Absolutely.
And that is where people will be like, we don't trust that brand.
Yes.
Now, talking about authenticity, and I like the fact that you already brought that topic up.
Yeah.
Authenticity is all about being real. And one thing I know you keep on telling me all the time is patience is something that you need to learn when you're building your authenticity. It doesn't just come overnight. To make someone trust you is like actually chasing that girl who says no until the second one she's like, okay, then I can be your girlfriend. It's the same thing actually we do with our brands, with our businesses.
Yeah.
We try to allure these customers that, you know what, guys, you can trust us.
Yeah.
We are real. Whatever that we are giving you is authentic. You know, whatever that we are saying, we are ready to build that trust. As much as it will take 10 years, but 10 years is a lot of time. It will take 3 months. We will be there with you so that you can trust us to a point of you can buy from us and become that loyal person. I don't know if you have tips to share on how people can be authentic, especially the brands in the space.
Authenticity is something you have to take time. Patience is key in authenticity, because authenticity comes with the kind of message you're putting outside there. One, your message must be consistent. Two, your message must be speaking to the needs of the market or the customer. When you look at, let me try to expound a little bit on the cloud chasing and the conflict with authenticity. Cloud chasing is a one-time thing. Today I'll make noise about this. Tomorrow I'll make noise about something else, because I always want to be relevant. You're getting?
Yes.
Meaning, I don't have a clear message to which I'm offering. So if brands associate themselves with every kind of noise that's in the market, they lack authenticity. They need to come up with a clear message. This is what we stand for. This is what we are offering in the market. And this is what we want to be known for going forward. So it will take time. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to be patient, even in their personal brand. People want to hit the ground running immediately. So I do
make the money.
I want to make money. So I want to do something that will make me a conversation all over social media or whatever space that I'll be making the noise from, but without a clear plan. That's why that person cannot sustain their personal brand for even a month or two, because after that you have nothing else to offer. And people maybe just got excited with what you said. They really didn't buy into it. It was just some form of excitement. But when you want somebody, or when you want people to buy into your personal brand based on authenticity, your message must be clear. It must be consistent. And that's what people don't want. Because consistency, it takes time for you to build your consistency. But people want something, I'll just hit it in the market and right away my brand is big. No, it doesn't work like that.
Absolutely.
That one you can't sustain. Because if you do this today and you don't have anything to offer, meaning with consistency comes innovation as well.
Absolutely.
So you can't be talking about the same thing that you used to cloud chase every day. Guys will get
You need
bored.
to be innovative and creative.
Bring me something that will make you relevant again.
Absolutely.
And that's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. And guys are not ready to put in the work for that and be patient for that.
And to add on to what Wandera has said, people will love you for who you are. All right. And it's very easy to maintain who you are, because you don't need to act. You don't need to do anything. You're giving us who you are. And that's what we used to. So
the raw material.
Absolutely. So when you start cloud chasing, people will read through you and know that this is cloud chasing. So even if tomorrow you come back with who you are, you've already lost us along the way. So then how then do you come back to the basics? That is now the branding. Build up your brand slowly by slowly. Tell us who you are. Feed us the raw you. And that's what, we'll dish up and take up. So cloud chasing, I won't talk much about it because I know you have something to say.
Okay. Personally, I think your insights are very important, especially for the businesses who are in the corporate space. And by corporate, I mean you're dealing with the A-class kind of work. They talk about industries, finance. That is a space you can't even think about cloud chasing.
Yeah.
Trust me. That is where people need to trust you enough to give you their money. Look at, for example, also, and a very good example is telecommunication. That is a space also from an industry point of view. You have to be a trusted source. You have to be relevant. You have to be authentic. You have to be consistent in the information that you offer. But again, I feel like there's this industry we call entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, entertainment for us, we don't care. If it's cloud chasing, we are there. We just want to know what is happening.
Yeah.
And I think that is where we need to balance and see when it comes to businesses, because there are some entertainments which are businesses too.
True.
We have to balance and know which kind of business needs the cloud and which one doesn't need the cloud. Of which I feel like the entertainment space still needs the cloud, because we feed on the cloud. We need the gossip, man. If there's no gossip on Twitter on Sundays, people are always bored. But it doesn't mean. But today for us, we are trying to talk about the corporate, the brands who are really. Their authenticity really matters a lot than even the cloud chasing itself. And now talking about innovation, of which you brought it up, I like the fact that the conversation is blending from topic to topic.
Yeah.
Innovation is also a way to actually build sustainability for your business and for your brand. You know, when we are in this era, I want you to actually share a little bit about innovation from the point of a business that works on the offline and hasn't thought about the digital space. How should they package themselves to be innovative to their customers?
Well, you see, first, as a business, you have to understand what your clients want or your customers want. So then you find a way of feeding them what you're offering. Because I always believe that as a brand or any business, you have to find a problem and solve. Yeah. So then you can always innovate around the problem you're solving. For example, I'll give you an example. You see, when the COVID hit, a lot of businesses were forced to be offline.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, online, sorry, because we couldn't go to the offices, we couldn't, meet. And so everything was happening online. All right. And you realize that that's when Calendly hit,
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of us had already started using it, but it was not popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Zoom, that's when it the clientele hit. Why? Because we were forced to innovate based on the problems we were facing. So as a business, again, in your field of operation, can you find something? What is missing? What can you add onto the offerings that you're offering? I mean, onto your offerings. Do research. Ask your target audience, what else do they need? Can you talk to them around your offerings? Make them help you, move from point A to point B. Yeah, build onto what you already have based on what they want. That's why customer testimonials, the reviews. I know some people think that when you're criticized, it's bad, but that is a way of a customer saying, please, can you help create this? Add this onto your menu, for example. I mean, I came to your hotel or restaurant. I didn't like the ambience. Can you at least have some art?
Yeah.
All right. So that's your way of innovating without you even knowing or putting much effort into what you're doing.
So what you're trying to say is innovative is not just about the tech space only.
Not really.
And I think that is what most of the businesses are looking at.
Yeah.
I'm not innovative because I'm not using this technology.
Yeah.
And you try to force a technology that actually doesn't work for your brand and the audience that you're targeting.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, you have to put your customers in mind. Let's talk a little bit about the marketing trends and innovations, because I think that is the space where so many businesses have been disrupted. When you talk about innovation, marketing is the main industry we want to see, because at the end of the day, we want people to see us, people to know us, people to remember us, and people to actually continue making purchases from us. And through that, marketing comes in.
Yeah.
So how will you put it from the point of marketing trends and innovation?
Okay. When you look at marketing trends and innovation, Janet, the first thing that comes to my mind is positioning. Yeah? Marketing is putting your name out there in the market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise outside there. There's a lot of noise. Everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah.
So you have to position yourself in a way that you're the only person who's being heard, whose noise is louder than the other ones. Yeah. So meaning innovation,
Meaningful noise.
exactly, yeah.
You just don't want to hear noise
True.
because you have to.
You can imagine how many ads we come across every day, either online or offline. Yeah.
Yes.
So for your ad to stand out, it means you must have positioned yourself so well for people to get what you're talking about and what you're selling. Meaning you have to be innovative, one, in terms of the message.
Yeah.
The message that you're putting is very important. Yeah. Then you have to look at the niche.
Yes.
You have to look at who am I targeting.
Yeah.
Don't just make the meaningful noise to anyone.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, nothing will happen.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
it brings the positioning aspect, and most importantly, the positioning is actually on the mind of the customer or the potential client you're targeting. This person, you must position themselves in their mind to be. If I'm thinking about this product, I'm thinking about this brand.
Yes.
So when you go to the marketplace, be innovative, one, with the channels you're using, with the message, and also with the content that you're using. Not just any content sells.
Yeah.
So look at the content that resonates with the target audience.
Yeah.
It will position you very well in their mind. And then you have to be fast. Innovation is about speed as well.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The
It's
first
like
person,
trends.
Yeah.
The
If
first person I'll hear,
you're left out, that's it.
That's
you're
it.
done.
Yeah.
the first person I'll hear selling a certain product is the first person I'll stick to.
Yeah.
So that person's message must come in fast and be very relevant
Yes.
to what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And this requires a lot of brands, companies, and businesses, even people. Yeah, if you are building a personal brand and you're marketing yourself,
Yes.
each and every day you have to be innovative on how you're putting your content, on how you're putting your message outside there. So it's a daily thing. Most of the time people think about innovation and they look at it from one angle only,
Yeah.
the tech
Tech
angle.
side.
Yeah.
Like, I have to improve my tech, I have to improve my systems.
New
But-
laptops in the office.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know innovation cuts across even in your profit model? How am I making money?
Absolutely.
Yeah, can I leverage on a certain angle
Yeah.
of making money? Then you innovate it that way, you get more revenues.
Yeah.
Now you have more resources to channel them in other areas that need resources.
That's
Yes.
brilliant.
And that's innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, people often think of innovation like, I must come with the next big thing.
Yes.
No, just improve a certain process in your business,
Yeah.
in your branding. Increase even the way you network. Try to change the places you network.
Yes.
Start networking in other areas
Yeah.
to see how you can leverage on other things as well. That's innovation. It's not just about tech.
Yeah.
See it, look at some of the channels that you use to disseminate your ideas, change them, improve them, or limit even the content going towards a certain area. And this is work that needs to be done daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, human beings are naturally lazy.
Yeah.
So when you hear somebody talking about innovation and they need to be doing this work every single day, and most importantly is in innovation, I think people should be more data influenced than people talk about data in two ways. One, there's being data influenced and there's being data driven.
Yes.
When you look at somebody who is very good in innovation, this is a person who is data influenced. I'm looking at the data, then I'm picking insights and perspectives. I'm not looking at the data to make the decisions. So if you want to be innovative as a person, look at the data for a particular thing. If this is how I marketed, this was the response in terms of numbers.
Yes.
Let it influence my decision but not drive my decision.
Absolutely.
I can pick something from it, then let it pick my brain. But let me not say, because this, if it's maybe a video you'd put online, it had 1 million views, then you're like, this is it. Now this is it. More videos like this one.
Yeah.
That's data driven, which
Absolutely.
is actually wrong and off with the current trends. I need to look at the million, then now start thinking, why did I get even the million?
Yeah.
Maybe the video was so off, it was making people laugh out of the errors in terms of the messaging.
Yeah.
And you continue thinking that that's the correct way. Yeah. So I think just to conclude on innovation and the marketing bit, people need to be a bit data influenced, especially on marketing. Janet, you're in that space where numbers really matter.
Yeah.
If I put this content outside there, I'll actually want to see how many people have viewed, how many people are interacting, how many people are engaging. But now it goes to an extra point of, if they liked this one, can I do it even better?
Yeah.
And then it makes your marketing so good because
Yeah.
you become innovative every single day on how you put the message and the content.
That's very true, especially when you talk about the conversations we share. Businesses put out content, they get engagements, and they just finish on, oh, we got engagements. And our engagements are doing what? Are growing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But what are these engagements? Did you really actually read the comments?
Yeah.
Did you see what people want? What is their feedback? Because for me, I feel like when it comes to, for example, a Twitter space where it's like an innovative space to share about your business and also represent yourself as a brand,
Yeah.
personal brand, is you have to look at it from the point of after you are done with that conversation. Yes, we got the interactions and all that. What do people say 2 days, 3 days, 5 days later? That's actually what is going to help you know the kind of conversation we had an impact,
Yeah.
and it's actually giving us a chance to think on how we can approach the conversation better,
Yeah.
innovate it better, or maybe even have it on Instagram if some people have thought of, oh, why not do this on other spaces? We have talked about sustainability, and that is the main actually conversation for today on
Yeah.
how you can build a sustainable brand. We have talked about authenticity. You have talked about innovation.
Yeah.
We have talked about the aspect of I think I have already mentioned authenticity.
Yes.
And then when you are describing authenticity, you mentioned something to do with reputation, because authenticity goes hand in hand with reputation.
Yeah.
And reputation doesn't just come. It's something that you also build with people. Because by the time someone says Wandera is more reputable than Janet, there are things that they look at.
Yeah.
What are these things? Because some of the brands might not know. They just know we can build a reputation, but they don't really know.
Yeah.
What do people look at in order to position you as a reputable brand?
First, your reputation precedes you wherever you go. You walk right here into the studio, we already know who you are. Not because you've talked to us, not because of the deeds you did or something, but how we know you, the perception, right? So reputation is number one, built by how you carry yourself. Number two, how you relate with people. All right. And number three is what you say, what comes out of your mouth. Because today, if I promise you something and I don't keep it, tomorrow I do the same and I don't keep it, what comes out of comes into your mind?
You're lying.
Absolutely. So then you brand me a liar.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's my reputation. So then it's because what I do, what I say, and how I behave. All right. So then if you want to be a reputable person, what are your values? Let's start from there. So then if your values are questionable, then outrightly we know who you are. You're not a reputable person. In the same way, if you run a business and we know, if, for example, I come to your shop and I forget my change, I go back immediately and you tell me no. And I request you to have a look at your CCTV and you say no. And at the back of your mind, you know very well this person left her or his change here. Then if it happens to one or more people, rightly we know this shop is being run by not a reputable person.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
When you talk about brand, we usually say a brand is a promise kept.
Yes.
And the promise kept has to be now, can I trust you? Can
Yes.
I see you really telling me the truth? Are you actually here for the authenticity or
Yes.
you're here now for the lies? Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, I'll brand you as a liar. you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And reputation goes far.
A long way,
It's
yeah.
not just about how also you carry yourself. It's also about how do you operate with the community
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you have anything to add on the bit of reputation.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe you can now talk a little bit more about community and how the community actually affect the sustainability of a brand.
Okay. There's something you mentioned very important, Janet, that a brand is about the promise. And very many brands don't make it to stardom because they don't keep their promises. And then Barry mentioned about the values. Yeah, values like what do you believe in as yourself and what do you believe in as a brand. Some brands have products that they are sorry, and services that they personally don't believe in the
Yeah.
products and services they're offering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it becomes hard for them to keep the promises because it's not even in them.
Yes.
And there's a very famous saying, work hard on yourself to a point that nobody needs to introduce you when you enter into a room. People know you. What Barry was talking about, your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
So your reputation is already known. When you enter into a room, nobody needs to introduce you. People know
Absolutely.
what you do, what you can deliver.
What you stand for.
And what you stand for. And that's what many brands, be it personal and business brands, fail to do.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the community, there are two things which usually make a brand or break it. One is the market, which is made up of the community. The community judges you harshly based on what you portray outside there. And it's actually the environment, it's your operating environment.
Yes.
The community you're creating.
Yeah.
And if you look at the sustainable brands, they try to create a community around the brand as opposed to just selling the product,
Yeah.
where they'll engage with people who they want to go sell the product with,
Yes.
get to know their needs, then know if they'll meet the needs of those people
Yes.
before they even give the promise of meeting the needs. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the community will either make you or break you.
Yeah.
If you're able to deliver that, and if you look at the trend for the past like 10 years, most of the corporates on social media have tried to actively personalize the responses on engagements,
Yeah.
where they have somebody replying, then you have the rest too, maybe the initial
Yes.
MK or DW
JMO.
or JMO. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
Why they want to bring the human bit of the brand to the community. Like you are dealing with other humans. We
Yes.
want to relate. We
Yeah.
want to build a community. And there's nothing effective for any brand like building a community both online and offline.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Those are the people who come to your rescue when you have an issue.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
When
a
you have
situation-
a reputation crisis.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't even need to deploy your PRT. They'll fight that role for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
They'll fight that role
They'll
for
say,
you.
yes, this happened once, but we know this is a very reputable brand.
True. And they'll ask the other people, like, how many times have they done it well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one, and this company or brand is run by human beings, and human beings make
Make
mistakes.
errors.
Yeah. You find that you never need to fight that one. And brands, businesses, and even people who are building their personal brands ignore the community bit a lot.
Yes.
At their peril,
Yeah.
because it catches up with them. Now, when you need the community,
Yeah.
which you are not building,
They will actually troll you.
exactly. Now they're the ones who are against it. They're the
Trolling
ones who
you
want to
and
lynch
stuff.
you.
Yes.
They're after your neck. Yeah?
Yes.
But if you started building your community slowly, you'll never worry about a reputational crisis.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing good in marketing like third-party assurance,
Yeah.
where it's another person coming to my rescue. I don't
Imagine.
need to defend myself
I know.
directly. Yeah, and it all comes with how well have you been building a community.
Yeah.
But you see, the funny thing about people and businesses, when they're rising, they ignore the community. Yeah?
Yes.
So
They think about the money.
alone.
Yeah.
So brands don't want to engage and build a community around them. People who they listen to, give feedback, and people who they actually deliver their promises to. So when shit hits the fan,
That's when.
you are alone. You are
And you know,
alone, yeah?
community is all about association. You know, and association, I think sometimes people forget. I like the fact that building a community from a customer's point of view is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
But right now, I think brands also need to expound their communities. You know, I am not a consumer of Coca-Cola products. I don't do soda, by the way. But every time I may be doing my training, I'll be like, please check out Coca-Cola, how they do their ads. You know, I'm part of the community. As much as I'm not a direct buyer, I associate with them as a fan. So I think also businesses need to look at this. Build a community of fans too. And these are people you actually entertain. These are people you educate. These are people you inform. These are just no people you sell to. Because these are the people I've realized they will talk more about your brand. They will talk more about you. And they will share anything and everything about you when you're not in the room.
Yes.
Yes. So to wrap up the conversation, what I would say is build a brand that is sustainable from the community point, authenticity, reputation, and then talk about sustainability and innovation.
Yes.
And something we didn't mention that you need to actually focus on when you're building a sustainable brand is being curious.
Yeah.
Be curious to know what is happening around you. Be curious to know what is the competitor doing. What is happening in my market. And that is how you will start winning as a brand that it will be there to be remembered 10 years, 50 years down the line.
Great. I just have one word to say. Build your brand today and let your brand build you tomorrow.
Oh, sure. In terms of money. Yeah, build it today. The reputation will give you money when you are relaxed and chilling in your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. And I think my parting shot will be, if you're able to build a sustainable brand, it will sustain you. I'm just echoing what Barak is saying. A sustainable brand sustains the business. People will pay a premium price for the product or service for a brand that is sustainable and is reputable. So sustain your brand for it to sustain you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that is how you end up building a generational brand.
Wow.
Thank you so much for listening in. See you in the next session.